All right, I'm live. Welcome. I'm Mike Caton from Ace Method Coaching. And for those of you who are new here, what this is a live stream or a live show that I've been doing as needed. I was planning to do it once a week, but I'm getting so much request for help that I'm having to do it 2-3 times a week at the moment. What it is just as an overview, Ace Method Coaching. I do some online coaching, mostly for hurdlers. That's my niche. If you want to learn more about me and wondering who the heck is this guy and what does he know, on my website you can go to the About section. You can learn about my background and why I'm doing this. But in a nutshell, I've had a tremendous success at the high school and club level, mostly with hurdling, and evolved into just private coaching. Did some college coaching in there as well, but mostly a lot of private coaching. And these days it's all online. I've been doing it for a few years, and I work with athletes of all levels and experience, hurdlers from all over the world, literally. And it's going super well. And I get a lot of, well, just so you know what I do. I do have a subscription where people are paying me a small monthly fee of $29 a month to have unlimited access to me. That means they can ask me any questions that they want, get my advice on things all the time, send me videos for me to review on a regular basis. But I also work with coaches, and also, what else do I do? I have a training plan that I sell online that's very robust, and then also a hurdling 101, which is how to learn how to hurdle, video and handout that goes with that. But I also get a whole lot of questions sent to me, and more than that, a lot of videos from athletes, middle school, high school, college, who just say, "Coach, will you look at my video and tell me what I need to work on?" And so the only way that makes sense for me to do that is to do it on here. So I lump them all together and do a live stream. That way other people can watch and learn from them, because that's the feedback that I get. People get on here who never ask me questions, but sometimes I'm able to talk to them and say, why are you watching that? And they say, because we learn a lot. We're able to see things that help us, and we learn answers to questions that we didn't even know to ask. So that's why I do it, and it's helpful. And just so you'll know, because I want to keep doing this and I want it to make sense for my business, I'm actually right now looking for corporate sponsors to help subsidize episodes of these shows. And I've got 3 appointments coming up with different businesses that relate to track and field and slow motion analysis. So I'm really looking forward to that. So just be on the lookout for that. And if you are somebody in that arena, or you know someone in that arena who you think this would be a good fit for, hook us up, and we'll talk about that. Because someday, hopefully in the near future, I'm going to be saying something like, today's live stream is sponsored by ABC, and do that. And that way I can do a whole lot more of this. My dream is to only do this. That would be so awesome. Every day do something like this. That'd be so cool. Nothing I want to say before I jump into some analyzing some videos is I guess I'm congratulating myself, but thanking people out there, because I just crossed over into having 5,000 subscriptions on my YouTube channel, which is a big milestone for me. So really excited about that. And what I'm finding is the more I do this and the more consistently I do this, that it's becoming exponential, because probably about, it was actually August, I only had about 1,600, and it just keeps coming faster and faster now. So It's pretty exciting. I'm enjoying this a ton. So, by the way, I'm getting ready to do some video reviews from ones that were sent to me. If you see this and you're wondering, how can I get him to see my video? What you do is you go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. You go to the hurdling page, and there's a thing to click on where you can send me your video. If you do that, it's apparently not really clear on there. You need to attach your video, but please tell me something about you. Tell me who you are, what grade level you're in, what your struggles are with hurdling, and what, if anything, you would like me to look for when I look at your video. You don't have to do that, but for those of you who watch this, you see it makes it a whole lot more interesting, and it helps me to know how to steer the conversation. It's not really a conversation, but my explanation to what you need. Okay? And if you have any questions, you can submit those also through my website, or you can just email me at acemethodcoaching@gmail.com. I prefer the videos to go through the website though. In fact, if you just emailed me directly, I'm going to end up sending you an email back saying, please do this through my website, which, by the way, I'm going to improve on this summer when things aren't so hectic. This is the busiest time of year for me, the last month of track season in high school track season in the United States. So I'm going to do it sometime during, the summer break. I'm going to improve my system, get a little more professional with this. But anyway, that's it. By the way, I've got 6, possibly 7 videos that I'm reviewing today. The 7th is only if somebody gets back to me with an answer. Otherwise, I'm just going to do 6. And it's looking like it's just going to be 6. And if you have a question for me, you can leave it here in the chat. And as soon as I finish with the video reviews, I'm going to come out, check the chat, answer the questions, and then call it a day. All right, so here I go. Give me a second. Nobody has called me to tell me that my sound is not working, so that's a good sign. I'm not as queued up with my stuff as I wanted to be, so shame on me. But I have my folders pretty organized, so all right, it's going to be pretty quick. Okay, I am starting out today with Darren. Here's all I know about Darren. Quite a bit, actually, so good job, Darren. And this looks like a really good quality video. Darren's in lane 7. Sadly, he got last place in this race. He is hurdling on 42-inch hurdles, which, reading between the lines, is telling me that Darren is collegiate. Is saying that he's struggling to get his steps down, so he's having to land on his heels in order to reach the hurdles. So already here, this tells me that Darren has a pretty high HQ. And if you remember that, that's a term that I'm trademarking myself. It's hurdle quotient. You have your IQ for intelligence, your EQ for emotional, HQ is for hurdling. Darren seems to have already a pretty good understanding prior to me having to look at his video of what he thinks he needs, but he's smart enough to say, hey coach, if you see anything else, let me know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This appears to be Darren right next to the starter. So let's look at it in full speed. Wait, real quick, let me cue this up. Sorry, I gotta go back. I want to make sure. Okay, this person here, yeah. Yeah, Darren, those hurdles look huge for you. And you're off the video. Your cameraman seems more interested in the leader. Okay. All right. So you are successfully three-stepping, even though these look like mountains that you're jumping over. Let me see if there's anything I can do. I mean, so let me back this up. Here's what I know. I'm not saying you're short, but I'm saying that for 42 inches, you're not tall. Maybe in high school, 39 inches was fine for you, but in college, this is huge. I'm going to stick with this hurdle for now. I'm going to zoom into it. Man, this is a really good quality video. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say this to you, Darren, but I'm also saying this to anyone else who's watching this. And let's say you're a high schooler jumping 39-inch hurdles and you're short. There's certain things that you have to do to adjust your technique to accommodate your lack of height. And because you are mechanically at a disadvantage, okay? You just are. You literally have to jump up to get over the hurdles, where somebody tall doesn't have to do this. I don't see any real tall guys in this race. But so just to let people know, a shorter person has to take off from farther away and then definitely land farther away in order to keep a decent curve. So that does mean that you have to float more than a person who's tall. That's one of your disadvantages. So I'm looking at where everybody else is. This guy here is about that far from the white line. This guy who's in the lead is by the white line. So you're actually a little farther away than most of them. So you're probably already somewhat adapted to this, okay? So good job for you to figure that out. But, well, the other thing is, when you're shorter and you had to really jump up there, a taller person will be touching down on the ground right here. But you've got to wait, and things happen differently, okay? With all the floating. You almost have to kind of freeze longer in place, holding your arms still. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna, real quick, my paranoia is making me want to look at something. No, okay, I'm doing good. Okay. I'm so paranoid that I don't have a sound going on or something like that, but nobody has said anything to me. Okay, so, but well, let's answer your question. You're saying, how could you avoid that? Okay, well, I guess I'm answering it already. The one is know that you got to stay low, and you appear to be staying low. The other is just know you have to take a really big leap, and in case you're not focusing on that, focus on that. You know, usually when you come off the hurdle, your knee would be higher up by your chest, and yours isn't. Yours never gets high. So I would a little bit work on that. See how that helps you. And okay, but your running looks pretty good. Wait up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong person. Okay, sorry about that. This is you right here. Okay, so you're not as short. So I just taught a lesson to short people, and you're not short. Okay. How did that happen? Okay, so good thing I caught myself. So this is actually going to be good. There's a lot of lessons in there. So Darren, let's look at what you're doing. I like your lead leg. That actually looks really good right there. You're coming down. That is a way better landing than this gentleman who I've been talking about for the last 10 minutes. Nice step down. You are a bit twisted though. See how your shoulders are turned to the side? That is a couple things. Sometimes being too high and the long jump over rotates you. Sometimes it's because your lead leg didn't come straight through. Come on, go back. But yours does. See how you're leaning a bit into it? So you're leaning over a bit, a little bit too much rotation, and then this has to rotate, which this has to rotate. So I would focus on try to bringing your arms straight forward and your legs straight forward, and keeping your shoulders and your hips straight forward. I think that'll help you a lot. You're right. I see you. Let's pull you up closer into the camera. The camera loses you though. I wonder if one of these is a teammate of yours. Okay, so I can't even see you hurdle. Oh, that's because I'm zoomed in. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, the camera did not help you very much because here you are here. I can't see you go over this hurdle, which would be the most ideal hurdle right here to see you from the side. Darn it. Okay, let me do it right here. This is kind of where I was. Okay, you're right. Okay, so here's one thing. I've seen this a lot lately. So watch this. So you come off the hurdle, and then you see how you get pulled down into the ground by gravity? Let's see if we can avoid that first. Okay, you're a bit too high over the hurdle, but not terrible. It'd be nice if you were touching down there. But see how, boom, you get pulled way down here. And I don't think that's your doing. I really don't. But notice this. That, I think, is your doing. I think you are sinking down. This is your penultimate step, which is the second to last step before you plant to go do the high jump or the long jump. And in this case, the hurdle, because I can see that you're preparing to jump up. That's not good. Look at that. Look at that. See how low you are? And then the last step, you're going to come up and then jump over the hurdle. So what you need to do to maintain your speed is stop that. You need to stay up tall. You need to get your hips up high as you can as you run between the hurdles, and try to approach this hurdle with your hips up as high as you can. And that way you won't have so much of a jump up and then jump or landing and have that issue of gravity pulling you into the track. Also try to be a little more through the hurdle versus over the hurdle. And I really do think that'll help you. I think it'll help keep your speed. And that's all I can see because then we lose you in the camera. Okay. All right. So moving on to Drew. Why did I think that Drew was a practice video and he was the only one in the video? Because I don't know who Drew is. Okay, moving on. Drew, you gotta let me know who you are. Weston, You just made this easier. Okay. Weston is a junior who's in lane 6. These are numbered. I won't lose it this time. Is a PR of 1813. He's struggling between 3 and 5 steps, wants to know how to get better. So this person right here. See it in full speed, lane 6. Okay, let me cue this up. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, Drew, you're pretty, sorry, Weston, you are very, very close. Very close. Okay, so what I got to do is just figure out how to maintain your speed, because this actually looks pretty easy right there. But now that each hurdle, you're going to be losing more speed, and then you don't have enough speed to get to the next hurdle. So once again, how do we stop losing speed? I can't zoom this too much because it's pretty grainy. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, folks. If there's anyone there watching this right now, can you message me and tell me if you're able to watch what I'm doing? I have somebody telling me that the live stream is not working, but I got people watching, but nobody's saying anything. Could somebody give me some feedback? That would be awesome. So somebody messaged me in the chat. I think there's, oh darn it. I mean, I don't have anybody on right now. That's the problem. Shoot. Okay, somebody says they can see and hear me. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay, back to where I was. Okay, so I'm helping Weston here in lane 6 figure out how to stop slowing down so he can keep his 3 steps. I'm going to do it from here. Okay, well, so the first thing, Weston, is you're jumping up, right? I mean, if I watch you here, and if I look at you, moving horizontally, and then there's all of a sudden a big jump up, and look how high your hips are over this hurdle. So the main thing is you just have to learn to and gain confidence in planting that left leg on the ground, driving your right knee into the hurdle, or like at the top of the hurdle versus up over the top of the hurdle. Like, see how your thigh is angled up? It needs to not go up. It needs to just go forward. And then just extend your leg as you get there, so you just stay flat. Hips don't hardly jump up at all. And then what'll happen is you'll be hitting the ground here versus here, and you'll be up and running really fast, and you'll maintain your speed, and you'll get to the next hurdle fast. But every time you jump up like that, like this, that's what's slowing you down, because you've taken your horizontal momentum, you've converted it into vertical momentum, so now you're too high and you have to wait for gravity to pull you back down, and then you have to deal with gravity pulling you hard into the ground, and then you see the way this trail leg just kind of drops really passively, right? It's supposed to be, as you're moving forward, a powerful whip that comes off, and it's your first step to the next hurdle, but you're losing all of your, you just lost your first step right here, okay? Not that it's supposed to be huge, mind you, don't get me wrong, but it's just not supposed to be so passive looking. But the main thing, because there's a lot going on here good. I mean, your lead leg actually moves good, pretty well. Honestly, your heel should still be tucked up in your butt at this point. And then about right here, you start to unfurl your leg, but pull it straight. Don't let it come up. Okay, that's the main thing you can do. And then also, as I see your lead arm, you're swinging it around a straight arm, and look how it ends up straight behind you. You want to keep that elbow bent at 90 when you pull it back. Think about pulling your elbow back. Okay, that'll be the main thing that you can do, and then you'll be able to maintain 3 steps all the way. But I think you look like you have the makings, so keep it up. Okay, I am now going to Eleanor. Here's what I know about Eleanor. She's struggling to 3-step and wants to know how to fix it. I've heard that question before. Real quick. Okay. She is in lane 2. Looks like she's the inside lane because it doesn't appear to be anybody in lane 1. There's another one of Eleanor. I want to see if this is better. She's also in lane 2. Okay, this is not a bad video. Let me see this other one, Eleanor. And I'm going to choose one of them. This one is a lower quality, seems to be. And they actually both have advantages. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. Maybe I'll do both. I don't know. Okay, your start needs work. Okay, for sure. But I'm not going to go into starts right here. That's a big thing all in itself. But talk to your coach about starts and how to get better at starts. So. Okay, so you are very solidly 4-stepping. And when I say solidly, you're doing a nice job of it. But I'm assuming that your left leg is your favorite leg. We can't see it really well here, but you're too high over that hurdle. You look like you've got some height to you, I think. Long legs, so that's good. Your landing is not bad there. This is not bad for what I'm seeing from your, as a 4-stepper, pretty good. So I'm going to watch that leg come down, looks pretty good. That leg come down. And then there's your 4-step, and now you're going over with your other leg, which is not bad. So you're actually a good 4-stepper, and you look pretty fast. I'm not seeing anything here that is jumping out and saying, oh wow, that's the reason. But I would say that when I look at your steps, they look really short. They're short and choppy, which tells me that you don't need to do 4 steps. So let me watch your other one. see. And on this one, you are right here. Okay, you are very proficient at both legs. And I hope that you're doing it 300 hurdles, and I hope that you use that to your advantage. Okay, so I guess here's what I'm saying. After seeing you in 2 races, and seeing that you're actually technically pretty good, I mean, there's nothing really bad here. What I would do is use my approach to go from 4-stepping to 3-stepping. In case you don't know what that is, by the way, very detailed in my Hurdling 101, but a synopsis of it, you can find it in multiple videos that I have on my YouTube channel. One is called 3-stepping, okay? So go to my YouTube channel, watch the video about 3-stepping, and in there I show you a piece of my Hurdling 101 that shows you how to do this. And in a nutshell, here's what you do. You first figure out what spacing would be most ideal for you to 3-step. And that's spelled out on the video. And you find that out. You'll need somebody to help you do that. And then you measure that spacing. And then you put out about 4 hurdles at that spacing. And you run over them as full speed 3-stepping. And then by doing that, you'll learn the rhythm. And you'll gain the confidence, and then get better and faster and more proficient. And then you just keep challenging yourself to gradually spread out those hurdles, usually in about 6-inch increments. So whatever you were at, add about 1/2 foot to that, to all of them, and then you are now running over those until you get confident and comfortable and you feel like you can go farther. Then you keep spreading them out in 6-inch increments until you get about within 1 foot of what this spacing is right here in a meet. And when you can do that, you're probably ready for a meet. That's the way it goes, okay? I put out a video, another one about how to coach 100 and 110 meter hurdlers. You can watch that. That'll also give you some good stuff, okay? That's what I would do. Okay, moving on to miles. Okay, here's a practice video. Let me see what this other one is. And then there's another practice video. Okay. So people that send me these types of videos, this is difficult, okay? Because I can't see Miles come from here, and seeing his speed and seeing the way he lands is pretty important in knowing the full picture of what I'm trying to work on. So I'm going to look at this one. So just so you'll know, try to zoom out a little bit. This is better. Better is a relative term, okay? Okay, so whoa, okay, so Miles looks pretty good. All right, so you all saw that fast. Let's watch it slower. I can't tell anything about you. And what do I know about Miles? Nothing. Miles told me nothing. Okay, so here's what I know, though. I'm looking at this step here. This looks like a good sprint step, and I say that because right here where Miles' foot hits the ground, his opposite knee, in this case his right knee, is even with his left knee in forward progression, forward movement. So that's good. And I'm going to look at this step here. Not bad. He did come on his heel. I'd like to see your foot underneath you more, landing on the balls of your feet, though, Miles. So it also helps keep you lower. Okay, now I'm looking at his lead leg, and I see a problem with the lead leg. See, he's swinging a lead leg that never really closes more than about 90 degrees. And it should, at this point, you should have your heel tucked up to your butt. It should still be tucked there, and only till you get about right here should it start to unfurl. That's part of what helps swing that leg through fast, but also helps you not get as much lift because you don't have as much momentum swinging up. Makes sense? You save it until you're already going forward, and then you extend it forward versus swinging it up. Okay? I think your lead arm looks good. I think your trail arm looks pretty good, but you ended up going too high because of the action of your lead leg, and then also it never needed to go any higher than, say, here, but yours came up higher. Yeah, and so you look at the height that you have over the hurdle. It's unnecessary. It's not terrible, but it's not where it should be. And then coming down. You're definitely a good hurdler. I probably didn't spend enough time mentioning that before I got right into it. This is looking good. Okay, if you were lower on the hurdle, you would have a flat heel by now, and you'd be already running to the next hurdle. But now you still have to wait another click, boom, to get your heel there. And because I can't see you from the side, I think this is pretty good. When your heel is down, I'd like to see your hip right on top, and I think that's pretty good, but I can't tell exactly. I like the way the arm looks at this point. I'm sorry, your leg looks at this point. This is really good. Means it rotated through like when I look at your trail leg, it rotated through very nicely. I would prefer that this arm be bent at 90 degrees, so when you pull back the elbow, not the hand, and have the hand go closer to your knee versus your elbow being by your knee. But this looks really good. You look like a pretty good hurdler. You do seem to be, your shoulders are rotated too much clockwise, which means, again, as I said earlier in this live stream, it could mean a few things. In your case, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that you're too high over the hurdle and your body has to wait to land, and so it ends up rotating this a little too far and this a little too far. But that's pretty good. You are good. I'd be curious to know, I wish I knew something about you. Like, I'm assuming you're a high schooler. You could be a collegiate. I don't know. But you look pretty good. So my main feedback for you is work on that lead leg and drive your knee in right into the top of this hurdle versus up over the hurdle. Okay, this next person, I don't know their real name. Their name on, it wasn't a real name, it was MRC. I've got one that is a racing, and then a practice, and a practice. I'm curious, so I'm gonna, and it's my last one, and this has gone really smoothly. So I'm gonna see what I see. What do I know about MRC? High school athlete in lane 3, struggling with 3-stepping. Let me speed it up. Okay, just to be clear. So this is this person right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now that I'm confident of that. Oh, that poor person fell over here. Bam. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that fall. Ouch. That was painful. Their leg is really underneath them. They're going to have a really sore IT band. Ouch. And this leg got twisted. I hope that person's okay. Wow. Okay. MRC. Look. Okay. So your question is, why are you struggling with your steps? Same thing I've told a few people on this stream today. It's because you are running and jumping versus hurdling. Here's what I mean. If you watch you, I want to slow it down, and we're going to watch you run between the hurdle and then jump up and then land, and then run between the hurdle and jump up and land. I bet that's your better leg. See what I mean? So basically you're losing all your speed at every hurdle because you're not actually hurdling, you're jumping over it. I'm going to go with this one because that is, yeah, right leg, that's what you want. Okay, that's your preferred leg. So ideally, you're using your right leg all the way down. So, for one, you're too close to the hurdle, and you're running on your heels. All that braking action, with your leg way out in front of you like this, and you're planted in the ground, and it prepares you for a big jump up, right? And you are pretty high over that hurdle. I can't tell from here, but you might be a foot over that hurdle. Okay, so already you're floating. You've changed your horizontal momentum into vertical, and now you got to wait for gravity to pull you down, and now you're off balance, and then watch your legs. Again, you just jumped up from 4.5 feet in the air, and now you got to hit the ground, and there's a little bit of buckling. Oh, you can see that your energy is now no longer moving you this way, but it's this way. Now you got to climb out of it, landing on your heels, big stretched out steps on your heel, another one, and then jump high over the hurdle. But this one I understand, that's not your favorite leg, so it's going to be bad. Again, too high. So, the main thing, this is the constant theme of the day. Hurdle into the top of this hurdle. Just go through the hurdle, wrap your legs around it, drive this knee right to the top of this hurdle, and then just make sure that your trail leg wraps around it. You will have so much more speed going into the hurdle, over the hurdle, and landing on the other side, that you'll have speed right here that you've never experienced before. And then you're going to find that you can do this in 3 steps. Okay, now, same thing that I told Eleanor. That's what you need to do, but it might be that you need to practice first by pulling your hurdles in closer. Again, all this is detailed in Hurdling 101, but I have some synopsis of this in multiple YouTube videos that I have out there. One is my 3-stepping video, and the other one is how to coach 100 and 110 meter hurdlers. Watch those videos to see how to pull them in closer and practice. Basically, you're finding your own rhythm of 3-stepping by spacing things out to your ideal spacing. And then as you get better, you gradually spread it back out, and you're going to be amazingly better where you can actually do it at this. My guess is you would probably get it down in 1 or 2 practice sessions, and then you'll be back to 3-stepping really well. Okay? Hope that helps. Check that out. So that is all for the videos. I'm going to bounce out, and I don't have anybody with any questions today, so you made things really easy. So you know what, because it was so fast, let me see if I screwed up with Drew, and he told me what lane he was in, and I failed to write it down. I was pretty careful though. No, in fact, I emailed you and I shouldn't have even put your video on there. So, bad coach, bad coach. Okay. I shouldn't have looked them up. Okay, so, all right, so that's the end of this one. Since there's no questions, again, if you see this and you want me to help you, I would love to help you. Go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. Go to the hurdle page and you will see a pretty clear place to show you how to submit a video. It really just opens up an email, and then you can just attach your video in there and tell me what other information I need to know about you. I definitely need to know what lane you're in, minimum. Sometimes it's helpful to also give me, I'm in the purple uniform with the white shorts and whatever, but also tell me something about you. I'm a sophomore and I keep falling on the third hurdle, and how do I get better at that? Or I can't figure out how to three-step, whatever it is, and that way I can help you and just makes it more interesting. And other people that are watching, they're going to say, I have that same problem, and they just want to learn from you as well. Okay? So, also if you have any questions, you could also do that through the website, or you can go to my email, acemethodcoaching@gmail.com, and I will probably, depending on how many I get, do another one of these this weekend. It really depends on how things are going. I know this is depending on your state. Some states like Texas, Colorado, I think, and are having their state meets this weekend. No, Texas, I take that back. Texas is this weekend. Someone else too, New Mexico or some. Anyway, but some people still have 3-4 weeks. It just depends. So anyway, good luck to everybody in the end of their seasons, and let me know how I can help you. Have a good day.